Hi from the beach. Welcome to my channel. I'm at one of my favorite places, so I thought I'd start this here. I have a lot of things I want to say, but I want to try to get right to the point about a couple of important things before I get really started. And that is, I'm 64. I have a blood cancer that I've had for quite a few years right now. It's incurable, but you know, I'm dealing with it. But I don't know what my future holds entirely with that, but nobody does. I have 4 adult daughters. One of them lives with me, my youngest one, and we're like roommates. We're basically roommates. And we help each other out a lot. And I was talking to her, I've talked to her many times about, cool things that I used to do as a kid or a teenager or when I got older. And she's like, Mom, you got to write all this down so that me and my sisters, will have that. You don't know how much longer you're going to live. She said something like that. It was nicer, and she's got to write all that down. So I've been writing stuff down, but I got to tell you, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. Gosh, I've kind of started here and there off and on, but then I would chicken out, and I'm always afraid that I'm not going to do it right, but I don't have time to be afraid anymore. And I just got to do it. And even right now, this video isn't going to be very long because I'm holding my camera with my hand. I don't even have a selfie stick, a vlog stick or whatever yet. So, or the right microphone or any of that stuff, but I don't care. It's got to start. They always say, your first few videos are really bad anyway, not to worry about it. And so I'm not going to worry about it too much, even though I've started this over like 5 times probably. Start a few seconds and then you start again, start again, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm on the beach. It's a little windy, it's a little noisy. Hopefully you'll bear with me. But yeah, I got a lot to say. And I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. Years ago, I wanted to be in radio, and I've also wanted to be in the entertainment industry in some way. And I love music, and I love movies, and I love books, and I thought maybe I could touch on a lot of all that stuff right here on this channel. So some days I might be at the beach, some days I might be in my car, sometime when I'm doing this video. Sometimes I might just be, walking somewhere or on my patio or wherever, and hopefully you can relate. I think I'll have something that a lot of different people can relate to. Like right now, I was just thinking, when I was a kid, the first time I saw the ocean, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, if they ever did this. We did not go on very many vacations when I was a kid. We lived in the Midwest, in the Central States. And we went on a trip out to Washington State and Oregon. And as we were coming down the mountains, way off in the distance, I thought those were clouds. And my dad pointed out, and he said, no, that on the horizon, that's actually the ocean. That was the coolest thing, looking out through the windshield and seeing that. And then when we came down, the mountains, and we got closer and closer to the ocean, and then we finally parked somewhere. This is back in the late 60s. I think it was like 8 years old. Right around 69, 70, somewhere in there. And we come down and we go to the ocean and we park, and I've already got my swimsuit on, like really, because no matter how cold it was, the water was cold, the wind was a little bit chilly. It was in the summer, but still, this is the Northwest. And my mom took all of our coats. I had a sister and brother, and yeah, she held everybody's stuff, and I ran out in the water. You could walk way out. It was really shallow. The beach went way, way out, and there's these big, beautiful rocks around on the edges. But there was a little bit of a beach there, and I walked way out. I had a blast, and it was fun. I don't know. Does anybody ever relate to their first trip to either ocean or a really big body of water, or big lake? I've even been impressed. Gosh, we went on, even seeing like big dams on big rivers, like Hoover Dam. I remember that was another vacation too. But so I was just thinking about that today when I was walking and thinking about this video and thinking about a story from my childhood. And I should show pictures of that sometime. I still have pictures from that vacation. Again, we didn't take that many pictures. Back then, which I want to start doing again. We had the film, right? Not digital. And so you had to be really careful how many, what you took a picture of. And it was all kind of, you couldn't just look and see what it looked like, right? I like to get I have a pretty good camera that I had in high school and in college with film. It was a Fujica something, Fujica 150, I can't remember, but I'm going to start getting film for that and using it again to take pictures. And I just think it gives you a different perspective, more ways than one, right? When you're using film instead of, strips of negatives and stuff that you're taking. And we had like our film, what did it have? 24, you could buy it in 24 or 35 pictures, something like that. 24 or 36 pictures. But yeah, I think the ones that I have from that vacation though were from a really old camera, old Kodak camera they were just square pictures. Anybody remember those? Sometimes we had black and white and sometimes color, just like our TVs. See, I'm gonna probably go all over the place. That's kind of how I am. Ever since, especially since I went into menopause, I've been in menopause for quite a few years, like 12 years now or something like that, 14 years. And with my cancer treatment, and everything, like when I'm talking, if I don't hurry up and say what I'm thinking right then, even if I interrupt myself on a different subject, I'll forget. So I'll probably jump around all over the place, and I hope that's okay. Hopefully that'll make it more interesting. But and now, what I was just gonna say, yes, I did forget what I was gonna say. So it was about television. I remember when I was a teenager, I got a TV for my bedroom. See, my sister and brother were twins, and they were 6 years older than me. So they were in the 70s, they were pretty much out of the house and gone all the time, starting at about 15 years of age. They were 15 or 16. And I was 6 years younger. So when they were 16, I was 10. So from about that time on, 9 or 10, I was pretty much the only one at home. And I got a little bit more spoiled, I think, because I was the last child. My parents were a little bit better well off. Had a little bit extra funds there. I mean, we were very much a lower middle class, I think, income family. But we had what we needed, but we didn't have a lot of extra. And so, but I did get a little TV for my bedroom. My mom and dad got me that, I think, for Christmas or birthday. And it was a little black and white one. And I had that for many years. And I remember when I got my first Princess phone, it wasn't a separate line. It was just a little phone that I had in my bedroom. And I thought that was so cool to have my own phone, landline phone. And then, but yeah, I had my little record player. I had a TV. Oh, sorry about the wind and the noise. I had my little TV. So by the time I was a high schooler, I think I got a color. Yeah, by that time I had a little color TV. I think I got it. I got one that my parents replaced, another one, so I could have that small one, and then they had theirs. But I felt pretty cool. I felt like that was pretty cool, that have my own little TV, had my little Princess phone, and I had one of the walls in my bedroom had paneling, so the paneling you could just take thumbtacks and put up all kinds of posters, and I had all kinds of posters up on my wall, and just like people, I think they still do that. I mean, I used to get this magazine called Tiger Beat, and I put David Cassidy and Donny Osmond and a bunch of others. Gosh, there's the Davy Jones and the Monkees and different people, and then later on I liked other people. But anyway, see how I'm all over the place? Hopefully I'll get better at telling the stories. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of hint of some of the things I might talk about. And I'm excited to do this, and I hope I can be entertaining. And did I say that? Yeah. So part of this is to help me with my writing of my book on all these stories that I want to save for my kids so they can read about them. I have a lot of different things. I've moved around a lot, so I got a lot of tales about that. We moved around a lot, changed a lot of schools. I've traveled. I was able to travel a little bit. I did end up going to college, and then after that I lived in Europe, so I got stories to tell. I lived through the 80s. I was in my 20s, and the 80s were just people talk about them like there's some great decade, like it was a great decade, but it really was. I loved the 80s because I turned 18, let's see, I turned 18 in the fall of 79. So yeah, I was 18 to 28 in the 80s. And it was great. I was in college during that time, and a little bit of high school because I graduated in 80. So I'm going to talk about the 80s and gosh, what else? There's so much more. I guess I should just stop. I have a lot of things to talk about. I have things to talk about for my mom. I have so many stories that I want to share, and I hope you'll hang in there with me, and I hope some people will join and listen in and watch, and we'll see where this goes. Okay, thanks a lot for coming this far and listening and watching this far. This is all new to me, how I'm doing this. We'll see how it goes. I hope it's fun for you, because I'm gonna make it fun for me. Take care, everybody. See ya.